Brickyard. Everybody tucks in line up front. Now they start thinking about making their moves. Will Power in that black car looks outside. Grosjean in the purple car up the inside.
Great Palou award. BK made a move up the outside. He switched from the inside lane to the outside. They all get through the first corner clean.
Howdy IndyCar and Formula One fans. Today is August 19th, 2021. Welcome to Formula Pun Racer. Were you just shocked and amazed by what happened this past weekend in Berlin, Germany, which was the FormulaE season finale? I know I was. For starters, the first of the two rounds would be won by the recently disgraced Lucas de Grassi of Brazil driving for Audi. How disgraced? Well, in the previous round in London, he made the foolish move by passing the entire field under yellow flag conditions through the pit lane, and then ignored the black flag for that penalty later and got DQ'd for it. But who would have thought that the Brazilian would redeem himself by winning on home soil for Audi? Congratulations, Lucas, for sambaing your way into victory lane. It's just too bad that this is Audi's final season in Formula E as they're pulling out along with BMW, so who knows what that leaves Andretti with in Formula E for next year. Nonetheless, it was a good run, and congrats once again, Lucas, for sambaing your way into victory lane one last time for Audi. The second of the two rounds in Berlin was a little more shocking, to say the least. At the standing start, Mitch Evans' Jaguar failed to get moving once the lights went out, couldn't move, and with no time to react, Swiss driver Edoardo Mortara of Venturi clobbered right into the Jaguar.
We go green in Berlin, and Evans doesn't move, and he's been hit! Mitch Evans has been hit by Edoardo Mortara. Two titles.
Yeah, game over for that cat. But not all was lost for both Venturi and Jaguar, as Sam Bird, Mitch Evans' teammate, gave the remaining Jaguar a 7th place finish, giving the Jaguar racing team second in the Constructors' title, while Norman Nato of France, who is Edoardo Mortara's teammate at Venturi, took his maiden win in the season finale in Berlin. Congratulations to Norman Nato, and magnifique, monsieur, on your great win. So, Mercedes EQ is the Constructors' title champions, while its driver, Flying Dutchman Nick de Vries, has won the Formula E Championship. Gefeliciteerd, Nick de Vries, on your win of the championship and your team, Mercedes EQ. It is unfortunate, as I said, that Audi and BMW are pulling out of Formula E competition at the end of this season, and Mercedes EQ is pulling out of Formula E at the end of the 2022 season. Well, nonetheless, it's great to see that Mercedes at least took that championship with him, and I was surprised to see Jaguar finish second, so a little consolation prize for the big cat. Yeah, I know how you feel, Grumpy Cat. I wanted to see your British cousin Jaguar win as well, the championship. Well, I'm definitely pleased that they won 2 races this year, both courtesy of their British driver Sam Bird. Hopefully they'll win more in the 2021-2022 season. The same weekend of the Tempelhof race for Formula E was the second visit for the IndyCars at the IMS road course rounds. And it all started with Patricio Ward of Mexico driving for McLaren Schmidt-Peterson, starting on pole, leading the field down into turn 1. And already it was an exciting race, and we could see that Scott McLaughlin of Penske from Australia was already jumping for joy to be back at the Indianapolis course. Literally.
Scott McLaughlin gonna go full send. I mean, that's a proper double. He lands the backside of that chicane curve.
Really took JimmieJohnson with him right there. Check this out. Watch.
On board with Johnson.
Watch the front wing here. Whoa!
While Patricio Ward, the pole sitter, started out well, he would ultimately fade back to 5th place as things were starting to pull away for Will Power of Australia for Team Penske, who led the most laps, 56. But it was also interesting to know the Danish butter cookie rookie known as Christian Lundgaard, driving for RahalLettermanLanigan in his very first IndyCar race, led 2 laps even though he eventually finished 12th. It was great to see the autistic race driver Cody Ware back with Dale Coyne Rick Ware Racing for the Indianapolis Motor-Speedway. True, it's not the Indy 500, but this is his 3rd IndyCar finish. Sadly, he finished 25th.
Oh.
He's probably just not driving the right car, I don't know. I just hope he can improve upon that if he gets a full-time ride next year. And to get back to Christian Lundgaard and the attack of the Danish butter cookies, and with Kevin Magnussen making his IndyCar debut earlier this year at Elkhart Lake, Kevin Magnussen has undoubtedly expressed interest in racing in the Indy 500 in the future. I sure hope he can come next year for it. That would be great. And RahalLettermanLanigan not only is expanding to 3 cars for the 2022 season, but they have the funding to bring back the IowaSpeedway Oval for next year, and it'll be a double header.
Where's Marcus?
In case you haven't noticed the ticker at the bottom of the screen telling you the results of the race, I can tell you that Marcus Ericsson finished 9th. And as for the winner of the Indy GP, well, the man who is from the land down under and led the most laps, 56 out of 85, Will Power of Australia for Team Penske, won the race and practically ran away with it too, leaving Swiss-born Frenchman Romain Grosjean of Dale Coyne Racing finishing 2nd, his 2nd Indy GP in a row where he finishes runner-up, and Andretti Autosport driver Colton Herta finishing 3rd. All the same, with Will Power and Team Penske, the winning combination they are, the Penske is mightier than the sword, and for anti-Penske fans, it's unfortunate that once again, Penske has creamed the competition. Once again, Will Power, congratulations on having the willpower to win races and winning again at Indianapolis. I'm sure is always sweet for you. To get back to the Iowa doubleheader that I mentioned that's happening next year, it's actually thanks to this supermarket chain called Hy-Vee, H-Y-V-E, based in Iowa, that is vital to making this Iowa return for Indy cars possible, especially since it's local team, of course. And they're also becoming a new sponsor with RahalLettermanLanigan, which is making the 3rd car entry for RahalLettermanLanigan possible for next year. So, as far as I know, Graham Rahal and Takuma Sato are set to go in the first 2 cars, and it's possible Jack Harvey might drive the 3rd. Where does that leave Santino Ferrucci in these musical chairs? Who knows at this point? Only time will tell. And where will Ryan Hunter-Reay go as I done his DHL sponsorship, which is set to end at the end of this year for Andretti Autosport? Who knows? The same can be said with James Hinchcliffe. Despite their strong performance in Nashville, the previous race, it wasn't so great this year at the IndianapolisMotorSpeedway's road course. While Colton Herta, at least, had the luxury of giving the team another podium finish by finishing 3rd behind Romain Grosjean in 2nd, and of course the winner, Will Power. Unfortunately, as far as the championship in IndyCar goes, it was not a pleasant race for championship leader AlexPalou as his engine quit on him with just 17 laps to go.
Palou's got problems and the championship leader is out.
The motor's gone. The motor either is blown up. This is catastrophic for the points.
So once again, for the Spaniard, this is another engine penalty that awaits him, as his engine will need to be replaced for the upcoming race that happens Saturday night, August 21st at Gateway, which is definitely going to be an exciting one in the final overall round of the IndyCar season. So, whatever engine replacement he gets, he will have a 6th place grid penalty, no matter how well he qualifies. He still leads the championship over Patricio Ward by 21 points, and Scott Dixon is 3rd. So who will come out on top at Gateway? And can AlexPalou hold on to his championship lead? Or can his teammate Dixon or the McLaren Schmidt-Peterson driver Patricio Ward take over? Let's find out as round and round we go at Gateway. Well, it's good to see Shem Howard's all hyped about the IndyCar race this Saturday night at Gateway. Before I sign off, there's one other big news that I almost forgot to mention that has been going around big time in terms of rumors in IndyCar circles. NASCAR points leader Kyle Larson, who we all know for that infamous controversy he created for himself last year by saying the one word that must never ever be said publicly during an iRace in April 2020. And who would have thought after getting fired from Ganassi, ended up working for Hendrick and is miraculously leading the championship in NASCAR at this time. It would be sure something that if Kyle Larson were to express interest in racing in the Indianapolis 500, even if it's a one-off, if he can do it, that'd be great, because he has expressed interest just like JimmieJohnson, another NASCAR great. So, it would be amazing to see if Kyle Larson can try his luck at the Indianapolis 500. Because if he were to win the NASCAR championship this year, That would definitely give him some calls saying, "Hey Kyle, want to drive for us for the Indy 500? I sincerely hope it happens. Even though I don't follow NASCAR, I have been paying attention to the controversies that he created for himself because, well, I feel sorry for him in his own way, and I know a lot of people probably still won't forgive him for what he had said. That is something that's not easy to forgive. But I applaud those who have given him a second chance, and who would have thought that he'd gone from embarrassing himself to a way that not many people would forgive you for, to bouncing back to presently lead the NASCAR championship. I hope he wins the championship, because if it makes him look good to get IndyCar drivers to give him a shot for the Indianapolis 500, and if he were to win it, boy, would he be just like Mario Andretti, another Indy 500 great who won NASCAR first before winning Indy 500, or vice versa at least. It's just like JimmieJohnson has expressed interest in racing in the Indy 500 next year. I sincerely hope it happens. But I believe that for the upcoming race at Gateway this Saturday night, Tony Kanaan will take over the number 48 car. Let's see how he does for the Ganassi team. And can AlexPalou hold on to his championship lead with Pato Ward and Scott Dixon right on his tail? Only time will tell. In any case, thanks for watching my videos. If you like, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Share with your friends, post, and whatever. And please comment if you like my videos. I always like to read your comments and respond to them. I leave you now with the schedule for this weekend, the IndyCar race at Gateway. And until next time, see you in my next videos. I'm Aaron Cylinder, firing on all cylinders.